Hey there, my name is Dr. Seth Myers with Sinus Spine Support and Rehab. It's Tuesday, so I'm bringing another Tuesday Tip of the Week video. And this week we're talking about one of the most common questions that I get in the office, which is, how much activity is too much? How much can I do now that I'm starting to feel a little bit better? How much can I do now that the pain is gone? And that's a really, really great question. And if you're a patient of mine, I hope you know my response to this. But what I'm going to start with is the idea, or the misconception that activity is actually really, really good for most musculoskeletal injuries. The caveat to that is knowing how much activity we should be doing, which is what we're going to talk about here. Oftentimes, patients have really slowed down their activity levels because of their pain, which at first might not be a bad response, but as we continue through the rehab process, we actually want to try and increase our activity level steadily over time to be able to increase our tolerance to going back out to do things. So, how do we know if we're doing too much? I've got two rules that I tell folks time and time again. And then with patients in the office, we're usually going over very specifics with these rules. So specific activities that they're going to be doing, specific intensities or frequencies, or even weights and loads, and specific movements. So this is going to be very generic rules for right now, but if you are a patient in the office, we'll be talking about some more specifics with it. So the first rule that I tell folks is if you're going to be getting back to activity, I'm pretty much okay with you continuing to do that activity as long as we don't surpass about a 4 out of 10 on the pain threshold, 0 to 10. Now, of course, everyone's 4 is a little bit different, and what you consider 4 and what I consider 4 is going to be maybe in two different ball fields, but the whole point is, you might notice it, it's there, it's maybe a bit annoying, but it's really not grabbing at you, it's not getting you super concerned quite yet. That's kind of what I mean by a 4 out of 10. So if we can keep pain relatively low while we're doing the activity, then I'm okay with us continuing to do some of that activity. If pain spikes above that 4, it's really getting a little bit more sharp, it's grabbing at you, it's making you maybe hesitate a little bit, then obviously I would say, hey, let's slow down, let's maybe even just put this on the back burner for a little bit of time before you're able to go back in to get something checked out and go from there. The second rule that I've got, though, is what do symptoms look like 24 to 48 hours after you did that activity? So let's say I went for a jog yesterday and my pain never got more than a 4 out of 10. I was able to continue my jog and I was fine. What do I feel like a day or two after doing that jog? Is that knee pain back? Is it really barking at you? These are the two rules that if we can check the box on them, we seem to be able to have a better understanding of the different amounts of activities we're able to do. So not every patient comes in with low back pain and it's super textbook in terms of they can do these activities but can't do these activities. There's usually some give and take here and there with every patient with every condition. So we can use these two rules to kind of guide us along our path for each individual person, which is how we can make the rehab more customized to them once we get some feedback on how they were able to do with certain activities and how they felt. And then if we can check the box on both of these things for, let's say it's running. If I'm able to check the box on both of those, what I can do is come back to my provider, tell them that I was doing pretty good with these, and we can have the conversation of, okay, if I'm good here, maybe I can either one, continue doing that movement like running, or what I really like to do with my patients is if we were able to do that one time, that's great. Let's go back out and test it again at a higher intensity or frequency or volume or increasing the weights, things of that nature. So maybe I was able to go run at a 9-minute mile pace and I was fine for a mile. My options might be maybe trying to run a mile at 8:30 and see how I do, see if that increase in the intensity of that exercise is still something that I'm able to do, and then over time I can try and get better and better, or I can go with another variable of the distance. But you can kind of see how using these two rules as our guide for what we should be doing when we're dealing with pain can help customize our game plan and get back on track to doing the things we want to do. Now, obviously, all this being said, if you're dealing with pain and you've been dealing with it for quite some time, a couple weeks, couple months, and things aren't seeming to change or improve, I would absolutely recommend getting some sort of medical attention or some sort of treatment or exam. So hopefully this was helpful for you. Hopefully you learned something from this. If you did enjoy this video, I'd love it if you liked and shared. That would be awesome. And thanks for watching.